Hi everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about pages in BC. I'm Dr. Gomati, I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and in this video we are going to talk about the page design and structure overview, types of pages, page designer, page components, page controls and page action, everything with an example. So basically, pages are Business Central's object type for interactively presenting the information. So page is basically used to get the input from the user and interactively present the information back to us. So the page has its own design and structure as we have already discussed in the table as well in the previous video. So everything has its own design and structure. So page, as we discussed, like page serve the purpose of input, output and control. So they are also use the data entry, like okay. So pages are made up of various combination of controls, properties, actions, triggers and AL code, which are like this. We have all these things like controls, properties, actions, triggers and AL code. So a page contains these things, okay, properties, triggers, and for controls, again we have, for every control we have a property, trigger, action. For every action we have a property on the trigger, okay. So this is what the page is. So once if we go to the Visual Studio Code, you can create a page easily. Just click here and type, because already we have designed an employee table in the previous video. If you have missed it, please go and check that. Now I'm going to create a page for that, okay. So page employee.al, and if you just simply type t page tp, so it will show you the t page snippet, and once if you enter you can see the complete thing. So these are all the properties of the page, okay. And it has its own controls, its own layout and everything. So it has its own actions, fine, and even the action has its own property, its own triggers, everything. So that is what we are discussing here. We'll be discussing everything, every sections in detail. So this is the overview, that is the overview of the page, okay, how basically it is designed, okay. So this is the controls. So these provide the users with the ways to view, enter and edit the data. So you can see here that you can enter the data, you can edit it, and you can do everything here. We will discuss that. So you can choose the options or commands, you can initiate some actions to it, you can view the status, everything, okay. So the properties, if you talk, these are the attributes or the characteristics of an object that define. For example, you can see that this is the first very essential property of any page, that is you have to tell what type of page it is, because we have nearly 11 type of pages, okay. Other than that there might be other pages as well, but basically we have 11 types of pages. So you have to tell what type of page you have, for example what type of page it is, okay. So you have various types of pages that we will discuss. And the next one, if you see the application area, usage category, and if you want to connect to a table, because so we already understand that we have a table, okay. So imagine that you have created a table, okay. So the table is like a database which is used to store the value into it, okay. You have created a table structure, but how you will store the data into it, from where you have to get the data, from the user you have to get the data, okay. So user cannot enter the data directly into the table, so he needs some interface to enter the data into the table, okay. So he cannot directly enter the data into the table, he needs some interface to enter it. So what is the interface? That interface is called a page, okay. So we'll be creating a page which is similar to this table structure. For example, here if I have accepted the employee ID here, employee name here and employee salary. So in order to get the input from the user, I'll be creating a page where the user can enter employee number here, okay, as a text box, employee name here through some other control, and the salary. Okay, so he will be entering for a single person or a multiple person, but through a page. So first he will be entering the value into the page. From that page, the data will be stored in the table. So this is how it happens. Okay, that is what we are discussing here. So you can even create a standalone page. Okay, if you don't want to save anything into the table, you just wanted to populate, you just want to show something to the user and calculate something on the screen itself, then that is also possible. So you can also create like that, but basically the page is created for one page. There should be one table. You can connect one table for a page. Okay, this is what, even if you delete this, this will not show any error. Okay, so you can create a standalone page. I hope you can understand. Okay, so I have given an example for the standalone page as well. You can check it in my playlist. So this is what the basic properties of a page. Okay, so here you can see this will tell you what is the state, what is the appearance, and what are the values you just wanted to give it. So actions, like these are all the menu items that may be icons, like what is the action which you are going to do now. Okay, so for example, if you take, this is the role center page. As I have told, there are 11 types of page. This is the role center page. So if you click here, you can see various types. So this is the action. So if you click something, this is general journals. Okay, so what actions you have to perform, so that also you can use. And the triggers, so we have already discussed about the trigger in the previous table. Okay, so triggers basically is a predefined function that are executed when a certain actions or an event occurs. So for example, if what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribble something over here. So we have discussed about this, and if I try to press escape from this, okay, so it is showing that what want you want to keep your ink annotation. It is asking, this is what the trigger. Okay, if some action has been performed, and if I'm trying to close it, it is informing me that whether you need this or not. Okay, so that is what the trigger. Fine. So that trigger also we can create it for the page. The internal structure of a page maps to a tree structure. That is, here you can see that this is a trigger. So trigger also applies for the page. That is, you can create a page level trigger and also control level triggers. Okay, so this is the, this is all about the trigger. So business central page structure, first let us understand what is the business central page structure. So here you can see that this is how your business central will look like. Okay, like how what I have showed it there. Okay, this is the role center page which we have discussed. And the very first one, that is, here you can see the mark, right? So this is one. So we are going to discuss everything right from here. Okay, so first one is what, the title. Okay, which displays the page caption and the product identification. So this is the page caption. Okay, customer product identification, you can find it there. And the second one, this is what, so this is one which is the company indicator. Okay, which is the home page, which we call it as a, sorry, it is called as a home button. So once if you click here, again it will get back, like you, it will take you back to the home button. Okay, it allows the user to navigate to the role center or to refresh the role center depending on where the user is at the moment of using the link. Okay, here you can find it. Okay, so the next one is what, third one, this is a filter button. Okay, so here you can see that this is a filter button. You can see is where the user controls the filtering to be applied on the page display. So you can just select this is the filter button. Okay, not this. Even here you can find the filter. So this is the filter buttons. And if you go to this page, so this is what the search field. Okay, you can find it even here. This is the search field, this is the company name. Since it's the role center page, it is not showing any table names over there. And this is the search field. Okay, you can directly go and search for any table which you are just looking for. Okay, it will just show the available pages for you. Okay, this is the search page. And this is the settings. Okay, this is the settings button which provide access to a general set of menu options. It provides access to some basic application information and administration functions as well. So you can just go and click here. So this is the settings, basic settings. Okay, you can see personalized design, my settings, everything are here. Okay, and Next one is what the sixth one, which is the ribbon which contains the shortcut icons or the actions. Okay, this is a shortcut icons. Fine. So these same commands will be duplicated in the menu locations, but on the ribbon for quick and easy access. Okay, you can easily see here. These are the shortcut commands. Okay, they are talking about these things, shortcut commands. Okay, and the seventh one is what the navigation pane. Okay, here you can navigate. So this is the navigation pane, contains the menu options based on the active role center. And the eighth one, so this is what the focus. So once if you select something, okay, the content area, so the eighth one is what the content area is the focus of the page, where it is just focusing. So it may be a role center or a list page or whatever it may be. So this is the content area. Okay, this complete one is the content area. And the ninth one is what we call it as a fact box. Okay, which can appear on the right side of the certain page type. Any page type it may be like a card, list page, list plus, document, navigate, worksheet, anything. Okay, a box can only display the card part. It will display only a part of a card part, list part, system part, like, or a limited to the predefined charts. So this will give you only the part of the page. Okay, it will not show you the complete. Then that is the fact box. Okay, so we'll be discussing about the types of page. These are all the basic types of page. We have card page. Okay, list, card part, list part, headline part, document, role center, worksheet, confirmation dialog, standard dialog, list plus, and navigate. So we will discuss everything in detail, but initially I just wanted to show you what are the types of pages. This is the role center page. Okay, here it is. This is the role center page. That is the first one which will show you. So the role center page basically shows the, it's a combination of multiple pages. Okay, so here let us go and see what type of page it is. Okay, every pages, I'll just show you everything. So if you go and click here, inspect pages, okay, it will show you that this is the business manager role center. So this is the role center page. Here you can see, and this is the ID of the page 9022, and this is the role center. Okay, let me go and search for some other page. I'm just going to search for customer, because this will be available everywhere. Okay, if I click here customer, you can see that what type of page it is, what are the table, because since role center page will not be connected with any table, so it doesn't shows you the table. So this is the customer page, this is the customer list page, this is the name of the page, and this is the ID of the page, and this is the type of the page. Okay, and it is connected with the customer table. So we have discussed, right, source table. Okay, so here you have to tell what table you're going to connect with. So here I'm just planning to connect with the employee table. Okay, so this is one type of table. And if you go and search for something like, so I'll just show you like what are the tables which we have. Okay, so if you click here sales order table, you can see what type of table it is. What is the table? So this is a document table. So sorry, document page, and the name of the page is what, sales order, and the page ID is 42. Okay, this is a document. So we have, you have various types of pages. See how the document page is looking like. Even you can see some common thing as a normal page, but this is segregated. Like what type of page? Here we have given, right, the page type is equal to, if you just give like a document, then this is a document type of page. You're going to create a document type of page. If you have given like a card, then it is a card page. Okay, so if you go and search, this is a document page. If you go and search for the payment, okay, here you can see what are the pages it is. Let's just see the payment. Yeah, payment terms is a list page again. Okay, so you have other thing like payment worksheets. okay, pay order. You can just go and inspect the pages. And what are the, here you can see that this is a table field. Okay, what are the table fields in your table? What are the fields you have? Okay, what are the extensions you have made, and what are the page filters are here, everything. But if you just go and check your role center page, okay, the role center page will not have any table, because role center is a standalone, that is, it doesn't have any page, and it is a front, that is, it's a main page of any business central. So it has only the page name and the id and the type of pages. Okay, so let us just proceed further. So this is the card page. Card page will give you the individual information of any data. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so if I'm just clicking customers, okay, I'm just going to click a customer. So you can see that this is the list which is displaying as a block. Okay, so this is the list which is displaying as a block. I can even change this as a list. Okay, tiles. So this is the list page. Okay, if I click any one list, it will open as a card. Okay, you can see here, this is opening as a card. So this shows the individual information about a person, individual information. So that is a record, in individual record. So this is what the card page. Okay, and next one is the list page I have shown you. This is the document page. Okay, a document page is used to enter document data like sales order, invoice, credit memo, and so on. So a document page also will look like a card page, okay, but it also includes a list with lines. Here you can see this is the difference. Okay, here this is like an invoice generating, like how many items they have purchased, what is the number, what is the description, what is the location code, quantity assemble, and there will be some estimations, like they'll be calculating the gst, everything. Okay, this is what about the document page. You can see that this is actually a card page, right? So we have selected the card page. Here you can see, let us see whether this is the card page. Yes, this is a card page. Okay, but in the document page you can see something like this. Okay, sales order document page is linked to the sales header table. So here you can see that it will be related with multiple tables. Okay, and the next one is the card part and the list part. So this is the list part. Okay, you can see that in the sales order table. Okay, let us go and search for the sales order table as well, so that we can easily find. So this is the sales order table. Okay, this is a document page which we have already discussed. So here if you just go and see, so this is the list part. Okay, so the list part, the card part, here you can see these are all the card parts you have. Okay, and the headline part, that is a role center. This usually will be in the role center. Role center is built with the several parts. Okay, basically the role center will be built with the several parts, like a list part, card part, headline part. So if you go and search for the role center, you can see that you may contain the headline page. Okay, so this is what. Okay, this is a card part. If you click here, it is showing it is a card part. Just scroll down. If you click here, it is showing the card part. Okay, if you scroll down and click here, okay, I'm inspecting the element. This is the card part. Okay, it is showing. And if you click here, this is a list part. Okay, you can simply inspect the element and see this is a card part, everything. Okay, so headline part, role center page, we have already discussed role center page, and the next one is the navigation pane. Sorry, navigation page. So the page type navigate page can be used to create a wizard. Like usually we might have faced this. Okay, like you can choose something and click next, 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 like that. So it is a create like a wizard. You can find examples of the wizard when you used assisted setup. So if you just go and check for the assisted setup here, okay, you can see that it will show you the wizard like structure. Okay, so it will tell you like for example, you can see this example in a video where I have uploaded, like sales forecasting, how to install. So once if you click here, it will show you some assisted setup for that. That is the navigate page. Okay, and the next one is the confirm dialog box. So whenever you are just trying to close something without saving, it may show you the confirm dialog box. Confirm dialog, standard dialog. Okay, this is how a standard dialog will look like. So you can find some difference. Okay, how every pages shows some different into it. Okay, like when to use that page and how to use that page. This is the list plus. Okay, this is a list plus, and this is the worksheet, how a worksheet will look like, and this is all the types of pages which we have discussed. Now let us see the page designer here. So the page designer also is easy. So simply what you can do is you can go to the settings. Let us just yeah, we'll see, we'll go to the role center, go to the settings. Okay, and here you have the options called designer. Okay, design, 1 minute, let it load. Yes, so here I have an option called design. Okay, click here and click design. Here you can see that you can start designing your page. For example, see this page looks like when if it is in a desktop view. If you want to see how this will look in a tablet view, you can click here and see how it looks exactly in the tablet view. Okay, and if you want to see in a mobile phone, how it looks like in the mobile phone. Now if you just click here in any of the link, okay, it will show you like how it will react everything. Okay, and if you click plus, and if you just try to relocate it. Okay, I have tried to that is relocate the name after the responsibility center, so it has relocated. Okay, that is I have changed the order of the column. Fine, so whatever you want, you can just try to change it over here. And if you want to do something in your even, that is how it should appear, what is the appearance you wanted to change. Okay, so that you can do it here in the design. And if you just wanted to save this, you can save this, or else if you don't want to save this, you can stop the design. Once you try to stop the design, it will ask you like what is the extension name and how you have to publish. If you don't want to publish that, you can simply close it, your design will stop. Okay, this is how this will work. This is what the page designer. Okay, so every page consists of a trigger, property, and inheritance. So what are the types of properties you have in the page? So you have to tell what type of page it is, because we have discussed nearly 11 type of pages. You have to tell what type of page it is. What is the, if you are trying to tell the card page, if you are trying to make it as a card page, then you have to tell what is the id of that card page. If you want to store it anywhere in the table, then you have to tell what is the table, which table, in which table you have to store it. What is the source table view, whether it is editable, whether your page is editable or not, whether insertion is allowed, whether modification is allowed, whether deletion is allowed. So you can find all these properties here. So this is the page property. So how to create a page? You can simply create an al program here, that is with the .al extension, and you can start typing. Okay, and you can start typing here t page. So once if you click t page, it will give you this page, and you have to use the page id for that. Okay, so 50115, which I have used it for my table, and I'm going to name my page as well as a employee page. Okay, employee page. So since I'm going to use two different names, so I'm just going to give it inside the quotes. Okay, and then you can see that this is the basic properties of any page. As I told, you have to tell what type of page it is, what is the see, these are all not very mandatory. Okay, but page type you have to tell. Okay, that is source table is also not mandatory if you don't want to store anything in a table. And if you press control and space, it will show you other available properties in your table. Okay, so this is a caption ml, card page id. Okay, so the basic thing which we have discussed here. And here you can see that caption, you can give a caption to your page, you can give a description for your page, editable, everything. Okay, so these are all the basic page which we will be basic page properties which we'll be using. And we are going to create a page for the employee table, which I have created in a previous video, that is in the table video. Okay, for these fields we are going to create it. So let us understand what is a trigger. So a trigger is a provides a good general guidance to the events that we are going to do it for the page. So if you can just go and click here, go to the trigger area, just type trigger. Okay, t trigger. Okay, on what? So the general available triggers, you can see that these are all the available triggers, like on, after, get, current record. For example, if I am trying to get the current record, you can see its corresponding that is a description as well, like runs after the current record is retrieved from the table, on after get record, on close page, on delete a record. If you are trying to delete a record, if someone is trying to delete a record, so if you wanted to display some notification to them, then you can notify it. On in it, on insert record. So you have this much tape triggers. Okay, the one which is showing as a cube, so this is what the trigger. Okay, on query close, so you have all these triggers here for a single page. Okay, so trigger, if something, some action is going to happen, and if you want to perform, if you want to instruct, or if you want to tell something to the user, then you will be using a trigger. Okay, so according to the best practices, we should minimize the AL code placed in a page trigger, putting code in a table or a field trigger, or calling a unit. So we will not give so much of page triggers. Okay, either we'll be using it in the table, or we'll be calling that through a code unit, we'll be creating a code unit. Okay, a small sort of code, so through that we'll be using it. But because anyhow we have to learn everything, so I'll be showing you a simple page trigger as well. Okay, and one more thing which we have discussed is what the inheritance. Okay, so inheritance is the most important property of any object oriented programming languages. So inheritance means what, we'll be inheriting any property from a base class. Okay, so in a business central is a object based. Okay, actually inheritance is what an object oriented programming complete concept. But business central is an object based rather than object oriented. So the properties that affect data validation are inherited, the properties. Okay, so properties such as decimal formatting are also inherited. Okay, so the basic concept apply to inheritance of a data property. So what are the data property we are using? Beginning from fields in the tables to the pages and reports, and then from a pages and reports to controls within the pages, everything we will be inheriting those properties into it. So this is what about the inheritance in pages. Okay, so these are all the basic page properties. So let us understand what are the page controls. Okay, so controls we need it for various other purposes. Okay, so for example, if I want to display the information on the page. Okay, so imagine that this is your page. um yes, so imagine that this is your page. So for example, if you want to display some information over here, and if you want to display some chart here. Okay, I want to display some fact box here. Okay, so this is what a control, how we are going to control a complete page. Okay, this you can even get the data from the database, it might be the picture. Okay, so container controls can contain other controls. So this is basically you will be having a container. Okay, this we will call it as a container. For example, if this is one thing, and inside this I'm having a picture, I'm having an image, I'm having an information, I'm having a data from the table. So this we call it as a container. Okay. So there are various types of controls in pages. Okay. So in page, if you just go and see there, you can see the what are the types of control types we have. Like you have a container, you have a group, field, and part. Basically it is it you have three different sorry four different one. Okay. That is a container. So first one is what, container, and the second one is what, the group, and the third one is what, the field, and the fourth one is the part. Okay. Container, group, and field. Okay, this one, container, group, field, these three controls which we are used to define the content area of a page. Okay, that is the this is a grouped one, this is group. For example, if you go and explore anything, okay, if you check this, you can see this is a general. Okay, this is one thing, this is a one block. Okay. And this is an address and contact. Got it. So for example, so this is how you can control and make it as a part. Like this is a general information, this is an address and contact, this is an invoicing, everything. So this is what we are just trying to talk about. Okay. These three controls are used to define the content area of the page. Okay, whereas the part controls are used to define the fact boxes and embedded subpage. Okay, part means it may contains a fact box or an embedded page, sub pages. Okay. So when you are designing a page, okay, so you should design it based on the customer's requirement, and it should be customized. Fine. So let us first understand the container controls. So this is what the container control. So there are three different type of a container control. One is the content area. Okay. What is the content area? What is the fact box? And like for example, it may contain a content area, fact box, or it may be a role center area. Okay. So what is basically container? It defines a root level primary structure within the page. Okay. And all page types should starts with a container control. Okay, everything will starts with a container control. So the role center area container control can only be pasted in the role center page. So this only be will be in the role center page, whereas the content and the fact may be in the any page. So you can see here that this is the content. Okay, this is the container control. Okay, so whatever you are writing here, so area content. So if you wanted to give this like a general, so that is also possible. Okay, whatever you are typing here. Okay, group name we have to change. Content and the group name you can make it as a general. Enter here inside the group. That is a container. This is what the container. If you just press control space, you can see the similar properties which we have seen in the page. Okay. So these are also available. These are the basic properties which are available here. Okay. So likewise we have to create. So these are all the containers and how you can just create a various type of page paths and controls over there. Okay, you can see create a sub page view, the page path controls. Okay, like how it should look like, and you can even create triggers for that control. Okay, even the triggers are available for the control. Okay, let's see how we are going to create the page, and we are going to insert the value into the table which we have declared over there. So em code. Okay, it will show you a underline, that is a different color of underline. This is not an error, but it is if you just give rec, then this arrow will go. Okay, because you're trying to get the record of that particular table and the exact record you wanted to check. So if you give the rec, this is a simple um, this is there is a global type record employee, so where you are getting the exact record from that particular table. If you just click here, it will show you what is that. Okay, likewise you have to create all the fields for that. Okay, I'm just going to just copy this, paste it. Next one is what we have is employee name, salary, doj, city. So employee name, employee name, salary, doj, city. So we are just giving city. Anything else which we are missing over here? City, gender. Okay, gender. Let's write gender as well. Okay, so we have given all the things which we want, and I hope you all remember, like we have declared the trigger on insert, on modify, on delete, and on rename in table, because that is what advisable. So other than that, we are not going to touch anything application area or anywhere. I'll be showing that separately. Okay, so let us just save this. Okay, so this is what we have discussed. Okay, this is the container, and here this is, you can see that in that content I have given that this is a general. Okay, it is showing general. Fine, and here I can give the value into it. I can simply plus to add the data. Okay, I can enter, for example, I can enter the employee code. Okay, once the data is inserted from the table, I'm getting this trigger data inserted. Okay, this is what we have written in the employee table. On insert, it should show data inserted as a message. Okay, it is showing. You can click this and give the employee name, and the salary, you can give some salary here. Okay, it's a random salary. Okay, and you can change the, you can change the date of joining here. Okay, any date, chennai. Okay, so this is what we have given in the option. Okay, and once if you click, it will automatically be saved. Okay, saved, it is showing saved. And if you want to add one more, you can just give one more data. You can just keep on adding. Okay, and then I'm going to create another content. Okay, another group for this. Okay, I'm just going to copy this entire thing. This is a complete group, right? Okay, so I have copied the group, and I'm just going to paste, create another group here. Okay, where you should not repeat the same thing. So in general, employee code, name and salary will be there, and date of joining will be in the other info. Okay, here you will be having the date of joining, um city. Okay, let's see how this looks like. Okay, let us save this. Control S. Okay, so here you can see that you have, it is grouped into two different one is general and next one is an other information. Okay, likewise you can tell, okay, this is the content area. Okay, as we discussed, you have various controls. Okay, this is how we can control the page into multiple. Okay, multiple groups, that is a multiple content. You can make it as a fact box. Okay, likewise. So if you want to add some action into it, you can write the actions over here. Okay. So now in the action, I'm just going to rename it like test. Okay. So test whether it is saved or not. That's it. Simple. And I'm going to give a simple message. Okay. Like saved. Okay. Or the data. Uh, okay. Simple. It's a simple action. I have created. Okay, it's not a big deal, but anyhow, this is a basic thing which we are learning at the first stage. So I just don't want to confuse you by creating some variable and calling that action, doing something more. But definitely, we will be looking into more actions and trigger, how you can create your own trigger and everything in the future. Okay, here in the action, you can see that test. Okay, because we have named that as a test, and if you click that test, it will show you data saved in the table. Though we haven't we haven't give any information here, okay, in here, but action will perform because we are not validating anything, we are just simply displaying the message. Okay, so that is why it is displaying that it is saved. Got it? So this is the very basic understanding of page and how you can use the page fact boxes, types of page. You can see that this is a card page. Okay, so usually the card, through the card page, we'll be getting the input from the user. Okay, and if you want to display something, you can use the list page to display that. Okay, if you simply change this into the list. Okay, I'm just going to change this to list and see how it looks. You can see it is showing the types of page. You have list, list part, and list plus. Okay, card, card part, and confirmation dialog. So you have this much pages. Okay, in your BC. Okay, this much pages you can create it. Okay, so I'm just going to create what list. Okay, list, save it, execute it. You can see how this list page is looking. This will be different. Okay, how is this looking? This is different, right? When it is executed, this was like this. Okay, as a card, a separate card it shows, but here it is showing like a list. And again, you can just simply press new and give a new entry into it. Got it? So this is the difference between the card page and the list page. So in the future, we'll be learning about, because this is very essential for table and extensions. Okay, like table extension and page extension. So once I cover the complete, that is the basics of all the concept. Like I have covered the for the table. This is for the page. Then I'll complete for table extension and page extension. So what is that? Okay, there is a basics, and I will cover for XML, report, query, and everything. Once I cover all the basics, then I can just go with the specific concepts and the projects as well. So I'll be discussing about the exercises as well. Hope you find something useful in this video. We will meet in the next video with the table extension and the page extension.